I still remember the first time I truly understood that my family's story was not just an ordinary story. I realized that the reason I am here today is because of battles I never personally fought, tears I never personally cried, and prayers that were prayed long before I was born. My father was once a 12-year-old boy who lost both of his parents. My parents survived moments where they did not know if they would see another day. They faced war, they faced hunger, they faced fear, they faced situations where only God could make a way. And the reason I am sitting here today telling you this story is because their journey shaped my life. A lot of people see me today, but they do not know the story behind me. They do not know what my family had to overcome. They do not know the prayers that were prayed when there was no food. They do not know the moments where my parents had to choose faith when everything around them looked impossible. So today, I want to take you back, not just to my childhood, not just to my life, but to the beginning, to the people whose sacrifices made my life possible. This is my family story. After learning everything my father went through, I started to look at him differently, because sometimes we look at our parents and we only see who they are today. We see the father, we see the mother, we see the person who raised us. But we do not always stop and ask, what did they have to survive before they became the person standing in front of us? And when I learned my father's story, I realized that his strength did not come from an easy life. His strength came from everything he had to overcome. My father told me that his life changed when he was only 12 years old. At that young age, he lost both of his parents. His first heartbreak was losing his mother. My father told me that his mother went to the hospital to give birth to her last child. It should have been a moment of happiness, a moment where a family was welcoming a new baby into the world. But something went wrong. During the C-section, the electricity at the hospital went off, and because of what happened during that time, his mother did not survive. A woman who went to the hospital to give life ended up losing her own life. For my father, that was a pain that stayed with him. But he did not know that another loss was coming. After losing his mother, he also lost his father. My father told me that there was a lot of conflict within the extended family. There were relatives who did not have love and unity with each other. There was jealousy, competition, and fighting. But he always made it clear that his own father was not like that. His father was a good man. His father was someone who wanted peace. But because of the conflict around him, he suffered. My father told me that his father was beaten. After that, his father was no longer the same. His health was affected, and he struggled. Then one day, there was an accident while they were traveling. My father told me that his father was sitting near the window, and during the accident, his head hit the glass. That injury affected him, and eventually, his father passed away. And just like that, my father became a child without parents. At only 12 years old, a child who was supposed to be protected now had to learn how to survive. He went to live with his aunt, but that season of his life was also very painful. My father told me that he experienced abuse while living there. There is a scar above his eye that carries a memory of what he went through. He told me that one day, his aunt used a traditional cooking stick, the same type of stick used when preparing foods like fufu, and hit him in the face. That injury left a mark, but what amazes me about my father is that even after everything he experienced, he did not allow pain to decide his future. He could have given up. He could have allowed bitterness to take over. But instead, he fought. One thing about my father that has always stood out to me is his love for education. Even without the support that many children had, he was determined to learn. He fought for his education because he believed knowledge could change his future. And he was right. Today, when I look at my father, I see a man who is full of wisdom. I see a man who can speak, teach, and explain things in a way that amazes me, especially when it comes to medicine and different areas of knowledge. He has always impressed me, and I am not saying this just because he is my father. I say this because I know the road he walked. I know that the wisdom people see in him today was built through years of struggle. It was built through pain. It was built through survival. But my father's story did not end there. After surviving the pain of losing his parents and fighting to build himself, another chapter came, a chapter that would test everything he had inside of him. His faith, his courage, and his will to live. That chapter was the Liberian Civil War.